gosh. I've been doing this for a while now, and I have not had issues. And go figure, right before we did this, I had the most technical issues I've ever had, ever. So, anyways, yeah. Alright, it is quiet in the chat for the moment, but that's fine. We've got the two of us, we've got ourselves to entertain ourselves. Normally when I do the stitching streams, if the chat's quiet, it's just me mumbling to myself, doing things to my, I don't know, it's just me kind of. But yeah, I have my sister here with me at this moment. Oh, Aegeus is on. Hello, Aegeus. Morning indeed. It's been a morning. It's been a fun morning. Oh, and there's Seraphis. Elder Scrolls music, 100%. This is Skyrim with water. Unfortunately, me and my sister can't hear it.
Okay, my chat's delayed, so it'll just take me a little bit to respond to chat.
Okay. How delayed is it? How much of the chat do you see?
There's the next comment.
All right, do you see? So just to, by way of introduction, so she's got what she's got is she's got the stream running on like her device off to the side, just muted. And so to give you a bit of a way of introduction, so Aegeus,
good morning,
is part of the DC20 community. Oh, so to back up a step, remember how I told you I found a new system and I'm not doing actual D&D anymore?
Yes.
You remember that? Okay, so the name, I don't think I ever told you, but the name of that system is called DC20.
Okay.
And so Aegeus kind of comes to us from that community, like that's where I first was introduced to them, and then they stuck around for a lot of the game streams and stuff. Seraphis the Procrastinating Pirate is Australian, and he has been with me since the very, very, very beginning. He was my first person in chat ever, which is really cool. He was there since the Subnautica 1. Galaxy Fox Night Sky. Oh my god. Blech. Galaxy Fox Night Sky is you'd like her. Extremely positive, always brings the energy, comes from the DC20 and is actually part of my second group. So yeah, they're my familiars. So everybody, this is my sister.
Hi.
Yeah, we did that bit once already. Poor awkward Beth has nothing else to say. She's like, I don't know what else to say. Galaxy thinks I'm a good DM.
I see that.
You heard it here, folks. I'm a good DM. Really, I'm a good DM.
Tori trying to type. Yes. Take 2 or 3 or 4.
The intro to my last video, the joke was that I had to do several takes. So yeah. So if my camera shakes and hers does not, I apologize, but she has the better camera. She really does. Also, in fact, I'm gonna shed some light on this. I have another little additional light. It looks great on screen.
Just leave it and start stitching.
Because I can't see. It's actually dark for my
that
legit.
Might be an issue.
Yeah. It's dark to me. It's dark IRL for my actual stitching. So I'm gonna set up another light here. Also, I'm working with the glow-in-the-dark floss still. I'm in the same spot that we left off last time because that's how behind the times I am.
I am also behind.
So Alyssa, so Beth, why don't you? I can call you Beth, right?
Yes.
Okay, Beth.
That is my name. You can call me by my name.
Well, some people like use their usernames.
I think Beth is general enough that it's fine.
It's general. We're hiding our identities. Oh, and the Needlebug is here. Hi, Needlebug. So my sister.
So I've been a fan of the Needlebug for a long, long time. I've watched many of your videos and even have participated in a live stream once asking questions in the chat, which for me is very unusual. I'm very antisocial. But it's so cool that you're in this chat with my very first guest starring on Tori's live stream.
Yeah, we're both big fans. I've actually worked with Karen quite a bit. she helped me. She's gonna help me fix the fabric. Oh, so fun fact, Needlebug. Beth is the one that did all of that frogging for me with that 1/1. The picture that I show you. She's gonna help me repair the fabric. She's gonna help me repair it so that the holes aren't there. Okay. Sorry if that looks weird on camera.
Somebody just asked what we're making. So this, I'll introduce my little project here since I'm guest starring. This is a project I've been working on for almost 6 years. On August 12th, it will be exactly 6 years, and I'm trying to finish it on the 12th. And it's called Dome of the Cathedral from Cross Stitch Collectibles, excuse me. And it's actually going to be my very first finish of a cross stitch.
Like ever.
I've never finished a cross stitch project. I have many whips going on, but I've never finished one. So this will be my first finish, which is hopefully I will finish.
Yeah, because you started it. Your goal is to do the last stitch on August 12th. Is that correct?
That is correct. Which is going to be a little tight because I still got a ways to go. But
it's going to be very tight.
That's okay.
But yeah, no, she is a big fan as well, and so having you here in the chat, Needlebug, is, I think you just made my sister's day.
Yes.
Her week, her month.
Very much so.
I told you, you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Do you think it's safe to show them the whole project? Like,
probably. So this is a gift from my mother, so we were trying to be stealthy, but I highly doubt that she
highly doubt
is
she's
on YouTube
at all.
No. I don't even know if she knows that Tori has a channel.
She does. She does know I have a channel, but like, I mean, the whole time I've had a channel, it's just, yeah, it's absolutely nothing. So what I'm gonna do here for you, Beth, because most of the zoom is coming in, the camera's actually positioned really close to her. So if you want to, you can just kind of stand back, pull back the camera a little bit, and then just kind of move the project around and give them an idea.
Most of it's on a scroll up.
You guys, this project makes mine, like, dwarfs my projects.
So I can't see it because my...
No, you're good. Keep going. You're good. Keep going. There. That's about good. So now they can see the roof. You can see the area you're working on, the part of the actual dome itself, so that like this much of the red of the dome is all they can see.
Yeah, because the rest is scrolled up. I might be able to...
Oh, she just reached 16,000.
Yeah.
16,000.
16,000.
Dang! I do have a celebrity.
I'm actually part of the Needlebug Facebook group.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have Facebook.
For a while. Okay.
Oh, Galaxy. That's or Aegeus. He's the one. So he says, I can see why it's taken 6 years. Aegeus, what you're seeing is about. There you go. So that on her phone is the whole project. So you see how small the piece you guys are looking at is in compared to. So right there, you guys see the kind of one of the front panes of the dome. Put the picture back in front.
Oh, I was trying to pull up a... I mean, this was a while back, but...
Okay. Well, that's...
Doesn't really give it...
No, go back to the completed...
pattern picture.
Aegeus says it's A, beautiful, and B, epic. So lift the phone up just a pinch. Oh, not that up. There you go, right there. So you guys can see... I know the camera is... So they're looking at just this. Like, all they can see is that square. And then you guys, this whole, and look, this is my hand. So this part of this building is the size of my full hand. Now picture my full hand taking up just this much space of the whole picture. That's how freaking huge this project is. And then side note, that is not even her largest pictures.
Oh, not by... Yeah. Nowhere near. I have much larger projects.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Big Boy, we have a project fondly referred to as Big Boy. big boy is what, 3 feet, 4 feet across? Because you hold it up like this. It's your arm span.
It's the size of me, yes.
Yeah.
It is 1 minute.
It's huge. Cross off some of my stitches here. This is fun though. I might, if we're having a good time, I might go longer than 2 hours. I don't know. It's fun. While she's looking that up, Aegeus,
There we go.
I want to mention something since you brought that up.
I have the dimensions ready.
So the reason why this is a gift to Mom, you're gonna want to put the camera back down. The reason why this is a gift to Mom is because our mom lived in Italy for 6 months.
Yes, it was a college trip that her and a couple other people went to Italy and like studied over there for, I thought it was only 4 months. 6 months.
I thought it was 6 months. Maybe it was 4. This was a number of years ago.
A while ago, and so
Yeah.
finding, and she's actually
I did it.
was.
No more glow in the dark floss. I did it.
She actually has been to this church in Italy. So, yeah. That's why this pattern is for her.
So back to Aegeus's comment. Aegeus, I want to tell you a little story. Are you there? Are you with us? Because I want to tell you this little story since you mentioned that game. So he brought up Assassin's Creed 2. That's
Oh, yeah, yes.
that's you know where I'm going with this.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Hey Lucas, I do remember you. Yes, twice now. Okay, perfect. So Aegeus, when I was a little bit younger, in fact, think along the timeline of the Skyrim story I was telling you earlier, in that range, and we had a 360, and I was super into Assassin's Creed 2. I actually 100% completed it because I was obsessed with it. I was playing Assassin's Creed 2, and the game I was doing the side missions, like collecting the feathers and getting the little the strange little markings that you would scan with Eagle Vision, and they'd pop up puzzles. I was looking for one of these puzzles, and I went into the menu, and the menu.
Oh, now I know what story you're saying.
I went into the menu, and the game was like, go to this building. And I'm like, okay, whatever. My mom, who does not play video games, she walked into the room. And she goes, and she like looked over, and she was kind of watching me play, and I'm lost. I'm just running around Venice. Like, I cannot figure out where I am to save my life. And she said, Florence. This one's in Florence, isn't it?
This church is in Florence. Yes, but you still may have been running around Venice.
Oh, I was running around Venice.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
right.
you were running, because I think you were looking for the Rialto Bridge, and
was it the Rialto?
I don't remember.
It was something specific. And I'm running around and I'm lost and I'm in Venice. And she walks into the room and she like looks at the screen and then she kind of pauses and then she sits for a few minutes and then she's like, Are you in Venice? And I said, yeah. This game takes place in Renaissance Venice. And she kind of gets closer to the screen and she says, I think I know where you are. And I said, well, I'm looking for this building. Do you know this building? And she goes, yeah, I know that building. And I'm like, oh my God, do you know where in Venice I can find that building? And she says, okay, hold up. I need to orient myself. I said, well, I can climb roofs in this game. And she goes, oh, okay. And so I climb a roof. And she goes, no, that doesn't help me. I need you to get back down on the ground. And I said, okay. So I got back down on the ground and I kind of ran just a little bit. And she goes, oh, okay. I know where you are. Okay, keep going. Okay, now turn left here. And I go, okay, so I turn left. And she goes, okay, now go down this street right here. Okay, now turn right at this building. And I turned right. And she said, okay, now keep going down this way. Now turn left here. And then we went around that next left. And the building I was looking for was right there. She literally walked me with a right, left, right. Like she literally, and it turns out I was super close, but she navigated me from memory, just standing on the spot from memory through Venice, which to me was like the coolest dang thing ever. In Assassin's Creed, in a video game. Her real world knowledge, like, directed me to where I needed to go in the video game. Oh my gosh. Oh, Apparently I sound like one of the Olympics commenters.
I saw that.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm finished with the glow-in-the-dark floss. I am happy as a clam. I want nothing to do with that floss ever again, which is a shame because I've got 2 more of these projects to go.
I'm just happy that I am done with the city on this project.
You want to talk about pain points? Talk about Sky. I don't. If you
The
saw,
sky was easy. It was the city that was a pain.
it was easy, but it was boring.
Well, yes, the sky was very, very boring. It was like 3 years of like 2 shades of blue.
3 years. So like, see how I'm doing this where I have like the sword and I have little bits over here and little bits over here and then I have my dice in the middle. Yeah, imagine 3 years of stitching of just 2 colors.
2, 3 colors, something like that. A lot of it actually was 1 color because a lot of the sky right next to the dome was 1 color.
Ooh, that's
so
a
there
really
it
good
is.
question, Aegeus. And in fact, Karen Needlebug, who is more experienced than we are, specifically, might be able to answer that with more specificity or clarity. Specificity. But floss refers to, so floss is not sewing thread. For one thing, it comes in multiple strands. So this is, and I'll see if I can get it to like focus. So this is 2 strands of floss because, and I went into this in detail in a different stream, but I am stitching what's called 2/2. So I'm using 2 strands of floss, and my 2 strands of floss are going over. You'll see one of these X's, there's a hole that has the corner of the X, then a hole in the center of the X, and then a hole where the other end of the X goes. So I am making my X's on a 3x3. So I'm skipping a hole every other time, and I'm using 2 threads, and it gives me these fluffier X's.
In comparison, I don't know. I can't see the camera, so I don't know how
It's-
zoomed in is mine. I'm doing 2/1, so I'm doing 2 strands over 1 stitch. So I'm going up and down through every hole and not skipping.
Yeah. No, yours is not nearly as zoomed in enough for them to actually see the
okay.
holes.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
lost.
fine.
I lost
That's
the
fine.
thing.
It happens. So I'll take you guys down here. So down here, specifically, this darker bit, this is 1/1. So these little X's are significantly smaller. Literally there's 2 stitches right next to each other above one of these X's. And so in the space that this X takes up, there's actually 4 stitches up here. That's 1/1. Because the fabric that I'm working on, the count, which is these holes down here, are so fine that I can't fit 2 threads in the space of like one of these holes in the little X. It would just not work. So, anyways, because floss threads, they come in multiple, where am I? I'm over here. They come in multiple strands, and the number of strands that you pick. So like when I do these little squares, I can only do 1 strand. I can't do the 2 side by side like this. Which is different than sewing thread, because sewing thread I think is much more fine. Like it's much smaller, and I think it doesn't break as easily. I mean, floss breaks. Also, floss, it's cotton floss, but there's also other kinds of floss, like silk floss. There's other stuff it's made out of, but it's colorful, and it's specifically designed to be stitched up like this as a showpiece, whereas sewing thread is designed to hold things together. Would you say that that's accurate?
I think so. I really don't know.
Because he asked.
So, Aegeus asked a question. I don't know how behind I am on the chat here. And that is correct. 2/2 is 2 strands over 1 hole.
You're seeing the same
and-
chat I am, so you're good.
Okay, and 2/1 is 2 strands. Oh, 2/2 is 2 strands over 2 holes, and 2/1 is 2 strands over 1 hole.
Yeah. So the first number is the number of strands, and the second number is how many holes you're skipping. So if I were to they're put through different Oh, here we go. Needlebug coming in with the
Yeah, they are put through different manufacturing process. Seam thread is thinner and more tightly twisted. Floss is a thicker fiber. Has what they call
Right.
a Z twist. Thank you, Needlebug.
a Z twist. Okay, here it goes. So if I have a hole, a hole, a hole, another hole. Oops, that one out of alignment. Okay, so if I have holes like this, right, next to each other in like a grid, and you can see my, I'm gonna hide my face, but 2/2 means I'm skipping the hole in the middle and I'm making an X across all of these holes. However, in order to ensure that the X looks nice and fluffy and doesn't show the fabric underneath, I'm using 2 strands so that the fluffiness fills in all the spaces. Over 1 just means I would make the X. In fact, can I? Over 1 means I would make the X from here to here. That's what the over 1 means. So over 2, over the 2 holes, over 1, over the 1 hole. And it has to do with the fabric that we're on, because the fabric that Beth is on, the holes are bigger and further apart from each other.
On this current project, yes.
Yeah, on that current project. On the project that I'm on, the holes are finer, smaller, and closer together. So I have to do it one way, otherwise I'm going to end up with a mess on my hands. And I'm almost finished too. I mean, you guys see it here. I'm very close to completing this project. I've zeroed out a couple of colors and I've only got a couple of more left. The over reflects the count to the next hole you thread your floss through. Yep. See, when you break it down, it makes a little bit more sense. Well, it's just like gaming. You know, it never occurred to me because I've been doing it for so long. And let me get my next floss started. It never occurred to me, but not everyone knows what D6 means, D10, D8. I've been using it for so long. But one of my players was reading through the 0.8 beta, and she was trying to rebuild, because I transferred their characters and then they wanted to rebuild their characters, so she was trying to rebuild her character, and she was sitting there all confused because she couldn't figure out what a D6 minus 3 meant. D6 dash 3, because she was reading it as a dash. And she just couldn't figure it out, and then finally she figured it out. And
That's
it's like,
very interesting, Needlebug. I'll have to, maybe one of my scrap pieces of floss, I'll have to do that to see exactly.
yeah, but basically it sounds more complicated than it is because of the shorthand. The nicknames, the short speak. That's what I was getting at. Oh no, you're fine, Aegeus. You're here. I'm the one that she's the one who needs to get the work done. She's under a time crunch. She's gotta skedaddle.
Yes, and I think my autopilot got the best of me and I just messed up.
Oh no.
It happens.
It
It's
does.
fine.
It does. But yeah, she's working on an 18 count, and for Needlebug, who's more familiar, but she's working on an 18 count, and I'm working on a 28 count.
Yes. I still need to work on 28 at some point, but 25 is my favorite count so far.
My parents... Oh, Galaxy, my parents, what do you mean when you say D10? Yeah, not everybody gets it. And stitching, true of any hobby, but stitching is the same way. Where there's shorthand. You know, if I tell Needlebug 28 count and 18 count, 2/2, she knows exactly what we're talking about. But if I say that to my DC20 friends, they're like, what? What is that?
Yeah, the frog has visited me.
Uh-oh. Ribbit. Frogging is also another nickname. Frogging means Beth has to undo stitches that she did. She messed up. Of course, anyone who's watched the stitching streams a lot 100% knows about frogging because they've seen me do it and struggle with it quite a bit. Quite a bit. Yes, number of
Yes.
number of holes per inch. So 28 count means there's 28, or excuse me, not number of holes, number of stitches. Number of stitches per
Well-
inch. Because when you think about it, 2 holes is 1 stitch if you're doing over 1. So, which is how it's counted, is over 1. So 28 count means there's 28 stitches.
No, bribery was not involved in me being here. I actually volunteered. So we would do kind of a similar setup, just not posting it on YouTube, a couple times, and we were having fun with that. And so I was like, hey, I'd be willing to guest star on your YouTube video or YouTube channel. And so it was kind of a combined, let's do this. It was. There was no bribery. I'd be willing to come back, and I might pop in from at random points in the future.
You have to be careful here if you want to discount or not. You might have discounted. Yeah, we do stitch alongs all the time. And after the stream is over, we're gonna keep stitching together doing a stitch along.
Number of threads per inch for the count.
Number of threads.
That makes more sense.
Number of threads. Oh, do you mean like these, like the threads like in the fabric? Because oftentimes when stitchers say threads, I assume they're talking about floss.
Well, there's threads in the fabric too.
I know, but the using threads for the term for the stuff in the fabric. I gotta tell you, this is DMC03, which is one of the new colors, and it matches this fabric way too much. So it made trying to count that really difficult, because it matches the fabric real well.
Again, do a whole page of white on white.
You
That
know,
was a pain.
I got the chance to do the approximation of white on white when I did Littlest Fairy, and I stand by what I said. Black on black is worse than white on white because white reflects the light. So if you put a bright light on it, you can actually see the thread against the fabric. But black on black like absorbs the light. So even with the, like, you can have a spotlight shining directly on your project. You still can't see what you're doing.
I mean, I frogged your black on black.
Dude, black on black is the worst.
I still managed to frog it.
Well, that's because you're better than me. I am not ashamed to admit it. Elizabeth has been stitching longer than me.
Technically we learned to stitch at the same time.
So, Miss
We actually learned to stitch at the same time.
Well, yeah, well, there's like multiple, there's like a part 1 and a part 2. So, Beth, I gotta show you this. Okay. So, Seraphis the Procrastinating Pirate. You see him in there?
Yes.
So his other half is Grim Squirrel, who is not in the chat right now, but she's part of my chat all the time.
Okay.
She's a crafter,
Okay.
so you'll get a kick out of this.
Yeah, they goofed again.
Don't goof. Don't goof.
Oh, well.
So here are the pictures of her. So she is doing. Let me show. I'm gonna walk around my desk and show Beth the pictures from the. Okay, so first of all, oh, sorry, they were talking. There we go. So that's hers.
Nice.
That's the Kraken. And then down here, earlier this morning, she was using sparkly yarn
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen Sparkle.
to do the underside of the Kraken. So that's the sparkly yarn right there. Which actually, those little balls look baller. I like that texture. I like the texture. It's gonna really look like a. Don't goof. Spoken like a true sibling. Elizabeth is it's Beth and Tori, but it's actually Elizabeth and Victoria.
Yeah, Tori over here keeps switching between the two.
I keep switching between the two.
That's okay. I answered a hey you and Victoria as well because we had a lot of similar teachers and we look very similar.
We look very
we
similar.
We sound the same. So a lot of the teachers I had who had Tori for years would call me Tori and I'd be like, yes?
Yeah, no, our sisters, and I'm the older one, so I would go through the school first, and then she would go in behind me, and yeah, a lot of the times the teachers would actually accidentally call. Go ahead and let her in.
Well, the door's not shut all the way.
She's not
And I
smart.
can't
Reach the door.
Well,
Go ahead and let her in if she wants in. Oh, well, never mind then. This is gonna be a fun. Okay, hold on. Oh, nope. Cat is cat. I'm gonna have to clip this in order to get this. I alternate between using your technique to thread my needles and then just, old-fashioned, just sticking the thread through the eye of the needle. But this one has a lot of fuzz on it, which is making it kind of difficult. There we go. I think this is, I want to say a 26 size needle. Me too, but I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, we appreciate you sticking around, Seraphis. Y'all will get to meet my sister. Of course, anyone who watches this after the fact will watch, obviously. But y'all that are here in chat, you actually get to interact and talk to the sister. And I messed up. I need to go... because I have to go up, so I need to go down. So yeah. Oh yeah. Did I mention why it's important that you finished on August 12th? Did we say that?
Yes, we did say that. We said that a while ago when I was introducing the project.
We do, yeah. Elizabeth and Victoria. That is technically our names.
Yes, I used to tell people that just remember the Queens of England and you'll remember our names.
Yeah, even though we weren't actually named after the queens.
We
but
really weren't, but...
That's okay.
Well, I mean, I was given like 5 different reasons why I was named Elizabeth, so...
I don't...
Pick one.
Yeah. It's, at the end of the day, we're Tori and Beth because shorter syllables are better. I had a commenter on one of the DC20 videos who was throwing a little shade. Well, maybe not shade. They were very polite about it, don't get me wrong. But they brought up the fact that I keep saying D&D all the time, even though I'm not playing the Wizards of the Coast brand product. And they said, they want to reach to a point where we can... Because a lot of people use the term D&D to just reference the hobby itself. And the commenter basically pointed out that they want to get to a point where we are saying TTRPGs and GMs instead of D&D and DM. And I thought about this because it's a really good point. I mean, the term D&D refers to a specific product, but also has become synonymous with the hobby, just like Photoshop. Photoshop is actually a branded specific product, but it rules so much of the marketplace that when people use the word Photoshop, they're referring to the practice of digitally altering photos as opposed to that specific named software, right? So I was thinking about it, but part of the problem is the word TTRPG is just so dang cumbersome compared to D&D. I want my 3 syllables back. So on my Notions page, I got rid of the D&D and I typed in TRG. Because I figured TRG is table role-playing game, TRG. And so it's still enough. It still gets the point across, but I get my 3 syllables back. I'm very big on syllables, guys. I'm very big on syllables. Oh no, Seraphis, it wasn't you. I recognize you. This was a different person. So it's banned. Oh yeah, you're right. So it's Band-Aid and Kleenex. Yep. They've become ubiquitous. Yep. Galaxy, I wish I could. I appreciate that you like it. I am not exactly enamored with my name. I guess I don't hate it as much as I used to, but I'm not. It's not like I'm jumping up and down super excited about my name.
Right? You know how many Elizabeths there are? You know how annoying it is to have such a common name?
But at the same time...
I took one art class, and there was 4 Elizabeths in the class, so we all had to come up with different nicknames so that the teacher could understand who he was talking to, because there was 4 of us. My viola partner in orchestra was also Elizabeth at one time, so yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have a name like, I don't know, like, like Courtney. Courtney is a name I've heard a dime. You know, what's really funny is I've had the opposite experience. My whole life, I've met only ever 2 other Victorias. That's it.
I knew
Like,
2 or 3 in high school.
okay, that kind of came apart on me, so let me put that back. That was 2 strands, and I needed to separate it into 1 strand because what I do is I take this strand, I find the other end of it, so here's the other end of it, and I actually take 1 long strand, I put the 2 together, like so, and then I have a loop at the other end, and that's how I start my threads, is
Commonly
I
called the loop start method.
the loop start method. It's honestly, dude, I love doing the Stitch streams because it's so cool how many of the people are interested that are like not Stitchers. Like, it's crazy having a whole chat filled with people that aren't actually Stitchers. And we just talk about the most random things, but it's great because, like, you know, it's just great. It's just pure great. We can make cool variations on your name. Toady, Tian Tori, Tian Tutorial. Oh, well, that's right. It's been decided that the Notions videos that I did are Tian Tutorials because the name is Tian, because my username is Tian Tori. And so then that means that the tangent or the videos that are more on a specific subject will be Tian Talking or Tian Tangents. I mean, we've got a whole branding situation. You tried to learn to sew when you were a young lad? Is that like sewing machine sewing or hand sewing or? That is awesome.
I still want to learn how to sew. It's there's a number of crafts that I still want to learn, sewing being one of them.
Wait a second.
Cross stitch is not my only craft, nor was it my first craft. Hand sewing, that's awesome.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
I knit, I crochet, I do chainmail, I do the little latch hook rugs. I've done a couple diamond paintings. Pretty much anything that involves creating something off of a pattern, not my own creations because I'm not that good. But anything along those lines, I'm into and I want to learn.
Swordplay and sorcery. Hello, good sir. Welcome, welcome. For Beth, who is unfamiliar, Swordplay and Sorcery is another DC20 YouTuber. Does monster conversion streams and the like. Actually, Swordplay and Sorcery, I probably messed that up at least once. Swordplay and Sorcery actually went to Gen Con this year, which I'm super jealous of. And all of that fun jazz. So I consider Swordplay and Sorcery a celebrity because he had one-shot questers in his chat, so he has celebrity status in my book. Just saying. And for Beth, who doesn't know, one-shot questers is like a really, really, really huge. Well, at least I'm pretty sure it's super, super huge. I know it's big. One-shot questers is a big channel.
I mean, I kind of figured that by the level of her excitement.
Okay. It's okay. When you saw Needlebug in chat for the first time, that's the exact same way I reacted when I saw her in my chat for the first time. In one of my other streams, she popped in and I'm like, Carrie! And I got all excited. I'm with you, Beth. I got so excited. I lost my mind a little bit.
Well, and even though I don't,
I was being girl.
I don't do the diagonal stitching method anymore, I still watch a number of her videos.
Well, wasn't it her that, like, you found her channel, you picked up oh, no,
No,
it
that was Stitching Jules.
in stereo. We're not sisters at all.
Yeah, no, Stitching Jules was the first one, because I learned to stitch, with Tori at the same time a number of years ago, like forever ago.
Long time ago.
Like, what, 12 years ago or something
I
like that?
was a youngin'.
I mean, I think I was still in high school.
Because it was before the 230 house, right?
Yeah, we were still at grandmother's the first time.
Yeah.
First,
So
second, third, whatever time.
early mid-teens for me.
I think I was like either in middle school or
Gonna go back down to the sword down here because I want to finish.
or
this off.
maybe had just started high school. But it was a long time ago, and I kind of sucked at it because I was taught mostly by my grandmother, she does embroidery, but she doesn't do a cross stitch, so she was like kind of trying to teach us. Tori was a smart one and went to Aunt Lisa, our aunt, who is the actual cross stitcher. So she learned the proper way, and I was kind of half finagling, half figuring it out, and having issues. And so I got really irritated with it and put it down. And then many years after that, Tori kind of started getting back into it because she was doing all her little mini Pokemon.
I did
thing.
one Articuno.
No, you also did the like Death Star thing.
I did a Death Star and I did Articuno.
But she started getting into it, and then I was like, hey, I kind of miss this. And so I started looking up videos on how to actually properly cross stitch, and I found Stitching Jules and some of her full coverage works, and I fell in love, and then it created a huge monster of cross stitchingness that then I transferred to Tori.
Yep, it was the part 2 rebirth of the cross stitch because there were a number of years where neither one of us were doing it. It dropped off the face of the earth for a long time, and then it resurfaced. But I know that Needlebug was a big part of it.
Needlebug was the second channel I really found to get into the cross stitch, and where I learned how to do the diagonal stitching and parking. So Stitching Jules was the first channel, and Needlebug was the second channel, and then I immediately joined the Facebook group.
Yeah. Which is ironic because one of the things that Needlebug really taught me after you introduced me to her was the laughability of the concept of a quote proper way. The joke is that there is no proper way to cross stitch. It's kind of like, in fact, for my TTRPGers, it'd be like the equivalent of saying the proper way to DM. And it's like every table is going to be different, every game's going to be different. Every stitcher is going to be different. There is no proper way. But what Elizabeth said about the proper way, that was our perspective at the time. We had this idea in our heads that there was a proper way, if I remember correctly, which I'm pretty sure I do. I have one stitch of this color left, and I have to start a whole new thread for it. Hardinger? No.
I haven't done it. I've watched some of your videos on it, but I have not done that. Mostly because I've been so focused on trying to finish Dome this past couple years, so I have not ventured into new things. But maybe once Dome is done, I might.
The proper way to do cross stitch is the way that makes you happy. That's right.
What I meant by proper way, I should reiterate here. What I meant by proper way is when I first learned to cross stitch by my grandmother, who does embroidery, not Skill Tree. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I think I've heard of Skill Tree before. Anyway,
Skill Tree. What is a TPK? Galaxy.
Anyway, but what I meant by proper way is I was half taught by a non-cross stitcher who does embroidery work, so she was having me flip my work around all the time, and my cross stitches weren't facing the same direction, and it kind of looked like a mess, and my counting, of course, was horrendous at the time. So I didn't mean proper cross stitching as in methods, or necessarily anything official. I just meant the basics of go up in one hole, go down the next hole.
I still say to this day and stand by it that learning from her, because my perspective is that in her mind there is a proper way to do it, and we were cautioned against doing it the non-proper way. My loop is stuck on the top of my work. This is great. Beth would get I'm trying to figure out like the short way, the TLDR here, but basically Beth's stitching is a lot tighter than mine, and she is what I would classify as obsessed with her back looking clean.
I kind of gave up on that a long time ago.
Did you? For a while, that was your whole thing, is that you were worried about the back. And she got that from grandma. The short version is she got that from grandma.
Yes,
so
very much.
it was when we were first learning from her, there was very much this impression that there is a proper and right way to do it. Now I can't thread my needle. And anyways, you can fill in the details on that since it was you.
Basically, our grandmother was under the impressions, and she got this, I think, from her grandmother, who did embroidery work, that your back needs to look as good as the front. And
that was the line.
That was the line. So I got it in my head because I'm a perfectionist, to extreme standards. That my back needed to look as good as my front, and when it didn't, I got upset. But it wasn't even just the back on my very first project, it was the front that also was a mess because my stitches were not going in the same direction because I got some weird advice from grandmother.
Wait, your stitches weren't going in the right direction?
No, that's why I got so annoyed with my first project, because grandmother had me literally flipping my project every other row so my stitches weren't going the right way. That's what I meant by properly.
You don't mean flipping like front to back.
Oh no,
you
like
mean rotating.
Yes, like.
Oh my gosh! So grandma had you now. If Needlebug, if you can speak to this, I'm curious. I want to know. Is that like a thing that's like an embroidery thing, and not just? Like, is there such thing as a proper way to do it in embroidery? And is that why she was so big on that when she taught us? Completely sidelining the whole side conversation about
yes.
Gen Con. Not that I blame them, by the way. Gen Con is amazing, and so I don't blame them for asking questions. You guys chat amongst yourselves about Gen Con. Definitely, 100%. 100%. No judgment. But yeah, if Needlebug has any insight about that, because yeah, she oh my gosh, she had you rotating your project?
That's why I didn't like my first project and I was gonna scrap it, but you insisted that I need to finish it so you can get it as a gift.
Well, because that's what it was originally.
Yes, it was originally my very first project that I learned to cross stitch on. That is a horrendous mess. It was for Tori. It's a pillow. It's called Lily of the Valley was the pattern, and it turns into a pillow
Out of a magazine.
One of many that my grandmother has. And I never finished it because I was super ashamed of the thing because it looked horrendous. Especially because Tori went to the proper...
If you were rotating it, then, guys, that would be like me stitching like this, and then turning it like this, and then stitching, and then turning it like this.
Yes, I did that for the first little bit, so my stitches were not facing the right way.
Oh my gosh.
So, hence I wanted to throw the thing away and forget my embarrassing, mess of a project.
It wasn't your fault.
And Tori was the smart one and took her first project to Aunt Lisa with questions. And so her first project was looking way better than mine. But that has been fixed.
Yeah, we learned differently.
We learned. So when I said proper way earlier, that's all I meant is not rotating the project and stitching in the same direction.
I know that Needlebug's whole thing is that, well, part of her thing is that there is no proper way to cross stitch, but I gotta admit, keeping it stationary is oh my gosh.
I'm laughing too hard to stitch now.
Okay, so for a little bit of something for my sister, Wolves of the Night. You see Wolves of the Night in there? Okay. Wolves of the Night is a moderator, so like kind of high status moderator for the guy who invented and is creating DC-20,
Yeah.
the system that I'm so in love with. I have not by the way, my sister has not played in forever.
10 years.
Mostly
11
from
years.
yeah, like the last time she played 5th edition was just coming out, basically.
Yeah.
So and she's busy, and every time I try to get her to play with us, it just schedules don't work out, etc., etc. So even though she is actually almost as much a gamer as I am, it's one of those where when I found the new system, I didn't go into a lot of detail because I was just gonna gush over it, and gushing tends to turn her away. And so I didn't even go into details about it. So she didn't even know the name of the system until this morning.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, Gelatinous Cube. Okay, sorry, showing off my reminder.
Yes, I meant to earlier before we even started look at your needle minder and see if I could come up with something along the same lines, but I don't think I have anything. I mean, I have my potions bottle, I guess.
Oh, you have I got you that. Your potions bottle is baller. Do you have it with you?
Yes, I have all my.
You should show off.
I have almost all of the needle minders. I don't have my crafts a lot.
You should show off your needle minders, especially the ones that I got for you.
Oh no, I don't actually. I lied. I only have like half my needle minders. I feel bad.
The point of that is that like other people I've mentioned, Wolves, the point of that is that I also consider you a kind of celebrity.
Maybe next time I come on, I can show off the full collection, but I can show you what I have.
Yeah.
So I have, okay. Reading chat for a second. So this is one of the ones that Tori got me.
There you go.
This last Christmas.
A little bit that way. Nope. Sorry.
I don't know which that way is.
That's fair. I will help you out.
I cannot see the camera, so Tori has to come and direct my hand to where I'm going.
Okay. Yep. So that's the potion bottle. Cameras are backwards too, which makes it difficult. So that's the potion. There's little scissors and such in the potion bottle.
So, and then it says whip on the,
The little tag.
the little tag says
Yep.
whip.
All right. There you go. That's the potion bottle.
That's the potion bottle. She also got me, in reference to, I think my first or second needle minder, this little cute,
Oh, the teacup.
my little cute
This is the
teacup.
blue. I've told this story before. I've told them the story before about the 2 teacups. So they've seen the pink teacup.
So this is the blue
That's
matching
the blue
teacup.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my
I
God.
also have, it's an axolotl with a banner that says, Craftsolotl, but I don't have that one with me.
Let me get this fixed.
I have my wolf here that is on this, oh, my wolf is out of shot.
Yeah, for context, the center of the camera is kind of like here.
That's good enough. My wolf here, that I've been using.
Wolfie, Wolfie.
Wolfie. I love wolves. And then I have,
So Wolves of the Night and Galaxy Fox are like your jam?
yes. I have one of my very first ones, was this little teacup, and I absolutely loved my little teacup. I still use my teacup regularly. But this was one of my first needle minders. And then one of my other very first needle minders is ironic because it's me. And it's a hoop with a partial embroidery on it, that says, I never finish any, because it's not finished, so.
I never finish any trails off. So read real quick for Beth there, read the Needlebug messages. Did you see those? Because I'm a little bit like, huh. I may take you up on that, Wolves. I'm just saying. Actually, I have Swordplay and Sorcery on the list. You know the podcast style thingy I did with Game Masters? Super secret spoiler, but the next person I was going to ask was Swordplay and Sorcery. And then if you're offering, I might hit you up on that. But anyways. You didn't hear anything. So did you see what she said about...
I did.
Which is interesting. Now, I was in a chat at one point and I had asked, but I think she had missed the comment and wasn't able to answer. I don't even rightly understand what a Hardanger is. Like, what is it? Just a brand name, or like what makes a Hardanger instead of just cross stitch? Yeah. A lot of the time I don't always talk as much in chat. Well, let's see, ages. Almost every YouTube channel I subscribe to is either TTRPG, True Crime, or crafting.
Oh, True Crime. I'm with you on that.
Oh yeah, Beth's a horror and true crime fan. They were asking, so I played Layers of Fear on the stream. By the way, I did Layers of Fear, and I got asked earlier today to do another horror game, like me of all people.
Yes, the one that screams at everything and jumps at everything.
I was hit by a shadow leviathan earlier today, and I started squealing and making high-pitched noises.
This does not surprise me. I'm the one that calmly swims away from the giant leviathan in the face.
Yeah. All right, Seraphis. Hey, thanks for sticking around as long as you did. I know it's super late for you, but thank you for sticking around. We appreciate having you here, don't we, Beth?
Yes.
Beth appreciates meeting you. And hey, since you guys are so awesome and kind and amazing and nice to her, it will definitely increase her chances of coming back. It definitely helps that you're not scaring her off. Oh yeah, Seraphis has a channel. Did I mention? I probably didn't mention that. Seraphis has a channel too. He talks like D&D, like gaming, tabletop gaming, because he doesn't play D&D. But he mentioned one game in particular that was interesting that I had never heard of, called Numenera, I think it was called. Unfinished project, UFOs, yes. I think, in fact,
I think it's unfinished objects.
Unfinished. It's quilters use. I've seen some quilting channels use UFO a lot as a term. Yeah, UFO, basically an unfinished project. TOV. So there's been a bunch of stuff about TOV. What the heck is... Oh, Tales of the Valiant. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about Tales of the Valiant. I follow. I got you guys. I'll have to catch you up on. Beth doesn't spend time in TTRPG circles. In fact, Elizabeth, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna say it's an acronym that stands for something. I'm gonna say it, and then you tell me.
No.
If you know what it means. No, just tell me if you recognize it or if you know what it means. Okay?
Probably won't.
Well, I know, but I'm doing this live so that people know. If I say
my lack of updated gaming knowledge? Okay.
If I say OGL, what does that mean to you?
I have no idea.
Give it your best shot. OGL.
Needlebug is asking how she can send a pic.
Oh, the Discord. Any of the Discords. I'm in your Discord, and I can invite you to my Discord. Any Discord that pleases you, that is easy for you to find. I'm in your Discord, so you can just post it in your own Discord, and I will see it. Likewise, I will send you an invite to the Crafty Chamber, which is the name of the channel in my Discord. That oh, she's not on my friends list.
And I'm autopiloting again.
Don't mess up.
God.
Don't mess up. All right, let's see. Galaxy Fox want to play the kicker. I've tried to get her in my group so many times, but she does not have time.
Well, okay, so I work retail. I'm a manager in retail, and that means my schedule is constantly changing. And I work nights and weekends, and basically the complete opposite of Tori here. So it's not my unwillingness necessarily to play. It's more literally my schedule just doesn't line up.
Yep. So tomorrow, so for everybody in my chat, by the way, who doesn't know, Seraphis does a weekly podcast kind of chit-chat thing called Talk and Drek. So it's Saturday for us. So for me, that's tomorrow morning or Sunday morning. So in fact, last Sunday, I popped on for a little bit at the tail end. And if I have availability, I might top on. Or I might just continue to sit and stitch and listen to it.
It doesn't have Discord anymore, so she will email it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she does have my email. Yeah, absolutely.
I have to agree, Needlebug. I don't exactly have Discord anymore, especially after the last time Tori and I tried a game together, and Discord just kind of went completely on me.
Beth, if any of you guys have read the Dresden books, Elizabeth is Dresden.
Yes.
She walks in the room and technology just sort of ceases to function. By the way,
yeah, her door won't let me in. It's bad enough that her front door to her house glitches out and won't let me in.
you know,
Or
actually,
out.
I think that says more about the fact that when you say door glitches and won't let me in, that makes my door sound really high tech. It's not that high tech.
No, but it's high tech enough.
Before I get distracted, Goths in Rome mentioned something. By the way, Elizabeth, if you don't, well, you're not as into political stuff, but I really, really, really like the Gods of Rome. They're hilarious. But anyway, you should check out their channel. But earlier in the chat, he mentioned something about a particular tapestry, and I don't know what tapestry that he referenced, but considering the joke of how large my sister's projects are, I want to look up that tapestry. So what was the name of that tapestry that you mentioned? Because odds are her big boy project is probably...
Oh yeah, I had the dimensions pulled up and I never said, did I?
Oh yeah, you never said what the dimensions were. So bear in mind, when she says these dimensions, bear in mind, she's talking about these itty bitty, like, look at that. Like, that group of stitching right there is like the size of the tip of my finger. So an entire... piece of
Yes, Big Boy is on 25 count, so it is smaller count than I'm working on, but slightly larger than what she's working on. But I do 1/1.
Yeah, you're
on
not
the
doing
25 count.
2/2, so your stitches are wee little compared to mine.
So the dimensions on Big Boy is about 30 inches by 40 inches. On 25 count, so it's
For my metric friends, I apologize. I have no idea what that is.
I could probably try and
Yeah,
convert here. I apologize. I'm a dumb American here.
Yep, that's what we are. We're not dumb though, per se. Like me and you.
So
We're pretty smart. We're reasonably smart.
I don't think that Big Boy is that big. That's a big tapestry.
Which tapestry? Oh, did he say what it was? Did I miss it?
Yeah, it's in the chat there.
By the way, Elizabeth, Galaxy really wants to play a game with you.
I have been reading, and I have not been ignoring Galaxy. I have been seeing your messages and invites to games, and I will definitely get a hold of you either through Tori or myself, so we can try and set something up.
She already stays up to like 1 to 4 in the morning just to play in my games. Like
yes, she did kind of mention that earlier.
She's such a good player. All of them, they're like really, really good players.
What?
The bow. I gotta look this up, guys. I gotta look this up because I'm dead curious.
What?
Now. This tapestry that they're talking about.
They have the. Oh, are you gonna look up a picture?
I'm gonna look up an actual picture. The kicker is that obviously the 220. I'm assuming that it's yay wide by long. That hence the 30 by 224 feet.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying my Big Boy is not 224 feet.
Obviously.
So.
You're not that suicidal.
I'm not that suicidal.
But close.
I mean, yeah. Well, whenever I learn a new craft, I have to pick the most difficult, biggest project possible to learn it on.
Oh, I know this.
Okay, well, show me.
It's yeah. I know this tapestry.
Yes. Tapestry.
Oh, don't even ask about my Discord one the other day.
Okay, so Tori has lost it and can't speak anymore.
I can't speak. Okay, Needlebug sent me a picture. I'm gonna pull up my email real quick while my camera wobbles. Beth, you're gonna be proud of this one. The other day, I mixed up my syllables.
The non-chicken thing?
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Instead of saying Discord.
Yes.
Can't even say it without cracking up. I accidentally said, and I'm not making this up, and I did it mid-sentence. Like, you know how I get when I talk really fast and I'm just going?
Yes,
So
I'm well aware of this.
I did it, and I said it, and I just kept going, like, no big thing. I said dick sword.
Way to go. I remember...
Instead of Discord, I said dick sword. I mixed it up. Oh, that cracks me up.
Yes, I agree with that, Needlebug. I'm a huge fan of big projects.
Y'all are crazy.
Somebody really wants me to tell the non-chicken thing story.
No! No. I'm
Why
not
not?
letting you for even saying that aloud. So here's the picture that Karen sent us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's a heart hanger.
Yeah.
But what makes it... Oh, is it because it's almost... That looks like embroidery as much as cross-stitch. That doesn't look like... I mean, it's obviously not straight cross-stitch. I'll see if I can... This is the picture. So that's what she sent us. Which, like, you can see, like, there's a lot of texture. You know, like how the stitches go all the way across. There's a lot of texture there. That's really pretty. Another zoomed out version.
Oof, that's rough.
That's really pretty. Oh no. Went for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That was
that's
great.
rough.
Wow. I need to go get a hair clip, by the way, because my hair dried from my shower and it's like starting to drive me nuts. But I managed to finish the sword through all of the laughing and the giggles and the talking. So here's a zoomed out version, guys. Here's the rest of the project over here. So all I have left is to come up this side. My goal is to actually finish Rogue today. So I finished the sword while we were talking. So all these little pieces in here are done. And then I'm going to be moving up through here as we go. But I am going to go get a hair clip. So Beth, entertain them while I'm gone for a few moments. The look she gave me.
Yeah, I'm not the best speaker or entertainer, so I apologize. She left me hanging. She will kill me if I mention the non-chicken story while she is out of the room. I have to deal with her for the rest of my life, so I'd rather not have my sister trying to kill me over non-chicken stories. That's really fascinating, Goths in Rome. There's a cat very loudly meowing at me now. Yes, maybe you can bribe Tori to let me tell the non-chicken story. And I went on autopilot again. I need to quit doing that. I have not been to Italy, neither has my sister. I've never even been out of the country. I don't really travel a whole lot as much as I would love to. But maybe someday I can go.
Oh, cat has appeared.
Yes, I know. She's been meowing at me pretty much since you left.
Oh, by the way, check out my new shirt. It says because I set the DC, that's why. And it's got the DC-20 logo on it, and it's comfy shirt. Oh, I see where I was.
I'm just making mistakes.
Well, you go back to. I'll cover for you. You go back to.
It's fine.
You've only been to Canada. Technically, I was in Canada once, but I was really little, so I don't really remember it. Oh yeah, no, you were with me. They took pictures of us standing next to a truck, and the tire was.
Oh, the giant! I didn't know that was in Canada.
Yeah, that was in Canada.
I did not know that. I remember the truck. I remember the picture. I just don't remember.
You just didn't know that was in Canada.
No, don't allow.
Oh, the cat just jumped on her lap.
They're trying to bribe you for me to tell the non-chicken story, and they've been requesting the non-chicken story since you left.
If we ever make it to Europe,
Yes.
we're supposed to.
Oh.
The cat just wrecked poor Elizabeth over there.
I apologize. Wait. Setup just got Are you good now?
All right, it's fine.
See, the cat still wants the non-chicken story.
They like to bring it up every so often to shame me as much as possible.
Hey, I had one against me for the longest time. Don't do that.
What was you have no equivalent to this.
Yeah, I did. I can't believe you don't remember it.
I don't. All right, I was gonna say you can tell the non-chicken story, but I want to hear the story that is your equivalent because I don't remember.
You don't remember my equivalent. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't remember my equivalent.
Well, if
mine happened way before the non-chicken story and for years.
I don't remember it off. Like give me a reference.
Then stop.
Wow, the cat's being really,
She's trying to climb up my front.
Yes, the cat is literally trying to like paw and climb, like scale Beth's front, and it's. I'm so sorry that she's being that way. What? Give me a reference. Give me like a clue. Give me a clue.
It was like back in Evergreen. It was the start of the stories of the bad speaking. And
wow, she wants on your shoulders hard. Damn.
Ow. So I now have a cat on my shoulder, so I apologize.
Beth now has a cat riding her shoulder. Mercury thinks it's okay because she regularly rides our shoulders around the house.
Which is fine if I had a sweater on, but I just have a thin t-shirt, and this cat has...
Let me get her off of you.
No, it's fine. Just leave her.
Are you sure?
She'll just get it back up here again.
All right. What is your... Give me a clue. like is there... Because if you say the not chicken story, everyone in the family knows... And pretty soon everyone on YouTube will know.
Hey, I was not going to say it.
I know, but they're asking really hard, and I acquiesce to chat's demands.
Yes, the cat does make it a little more challenging to stitch at the moment, but at least she's a light cat and not a super difficult cat. Hi, I'm now... My face is now showing.
You're her best... So this is what we mean. Guys, I'm not even joking. That's Mercury. That's my sister. Hi. Real quick, just so everybody knows. I'm trying to tighten. I cannot get it to... will it stay? Will it stay? It won't stay. But, yeah, anyways. I was gonna go stand next to my sister. So you guys can actually see us together.
I mean, maybe eventually I can get over there, but...
I'm okay with this, though, because, like, lean that way. There you go. This will be recorded for us when we're older.
So
this is why people think we look kind of... Oh, wait, glasses.
Yeah. We used to get mistaken for twins when we were younger, especially. I am not wearing glasses because my glasses broke, so I need new glasses, so I'm wearing contacts.
Good lord, cat.
And yes, there's a cat still on my shoulder, and it is purring very loudly and vibrating.
Well, she normally sits on Steve's shoulders, so
I'm a replacement at the moment.
Also makes it hard to stitch. Yeah.
That's a small puma. Yes. Yes. Fortunately, she's very light, so her being on my shoulder is not that difficult.
A small puma? Did someone call her a puma?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a lemur.
Okay, now she's in my mouth, though.
Yeah, well, because what she does is she'll walk around your front and then get on your other shoulder and then walk around your back. Like, she does that all the time.
Hi.
Yeah. But see, now this is out there. And
You
it's
can't
like,
walk on the project, though.
it's recorded. Like, we can come back
Face
later.
reveal. Yes, face
When we're
reveal.
older and we can watch this stream. That's part of the reason why I wanted to start doing part of the reason why I wanted to start doing YouTube with the stitching is because then it's recorded and it's there. I got the idea from Needlebug, but the idea that there's a sort of record. In fact, one of the videos I was watching, Bob World Builder, it's not a new video, but it just reappeared in my algorithm, was Bob World Builder talking about a form of taking D&D notes is a form of taking D&D notes is recording a video of everyone talking about their campaign. Video is a form of record. You know, we're laughing, we're having a good time. We started out getting stitching done, and now we're getting a little less stitching done, which I promise I'm going to get back to it.
So she says one of her cat's name is Puma, so that's where the Puma came
Oh, okay.
from.
And I do need to fix my camera one more second, guys. Apologies for the seasickness, but again, this is like a memory for me. You know, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch the stream and I'm gonna remember you being here, and it's gonna be a record of us. You know,
Oh, okay, I've been saved from the cat, thank you.
it's gonna be a memory of us being together, us being sisters. How sometimes we get sidetracked in our stitching, but how we're kind, you know, it's a good thing. Yeah, video diary. Thank you, Galaxy. Anyways, before they all go nuts, tell me what the equivalent is, and then tell the not chicken story.
Why
and I'll
didn't I
like
tell the non-chicken story first?
because I can't guarantee that you're gonna give me the other story in response, so I'm holding the not chicken story hostage. And at this point, we've talked it up so much, it's gonna be anticlimactic.
Probably.
Yeah.
Basically, the non-chicken thing was for a number of years, Tori could not, well, I mean, even still, Tori could not come up with the proper words for things, so she was trying to find other ways to describe the word she was looking for without saying the word.
The best example of this is when I forgot the word for stove.
Yes, I was getting to that.
Oh, okay, I'll let you go then.
But that happened after the non-chicken thing, so
It
I'm gonna
did.
tell the non-chicken thing first. So,
It did.
It was really late at night, like super late. I think it was like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And Tori had to go pick up her friend from someplace. And
We had to drive down from West Glacier.
yes,
Just in my defense.
we were driving down from Glacier, which we live about 30 minutes from
40.
Fine. 40 minutes from Glacier. And we decided to stop at Wendy's after picking up her friend. And so we're sitting in line. It was pretty late at night. She drove all the way to Glacier and back. And she's, you know, having us tell her her order so she could repeat the order so we could get all the food. And yes, we're very much sisters. There is no denying this in any sense of the word. Anyway, and I think it was her friend's boyfriend at the time, I don't quite remember, was trying to say, I want the, like, number 2 hamburger or something like that. Like, I want a hamburger. And she, for the life of her, could not say the word hamburger. And so she's at the intercom of Wendy's, repeatedly saying and meanwhile the entire car is going, hamburger. And, like, repeatedly going, Tori, hamburger. And she's like, the non-chicken thing, and the poor person was actually doing a pretty good job of not laughing her head off at Tori's lack of verbal skills. But, so yeah, for years we made fun of her, and still do.
Years and years
for
later.
the non-chicken thing. because despite the entire car going, hamburger, she could not say the word hamburger. And then later, I was not actually physically there for the incident that time, but she couldn't come up with the word oven, so she was going, that kitchen utility that
it was
you
the
use to-
kitchen item that cooks food at really high temperatures. Yep. Because I couldn't remember the word stove, so I couldn't say the word stove, so I just stood there manically gesturing until finally I blurted out the kitchen device that cooks food at really high temperatures. Yeah, Wolves gets me. So Wolves has ADHD too, and I'm pretty sure the guy that invented DC20, which it goes Dungeon Coach, and that's the name of the channel as well. Which you would like DC20, Beth, because it has more. Beth is not a fan of 5e. She likes 3.5, so I think she would like
yes,
DC20.
I'm the weird one.
I think she would like DC20 because of the extra crunch, so to speak, but it's a good crunch. But yeah, Wolves has ADHD, so Wolves is with me.
Well,
Oh, would you like a little more context to that story, by the way? To the non-chicken story?
I guess, but I was also going to say that I make fun of you for the non-chicken thing, but I do the same thing. In fact, there's something I pulled at work that everybody still makes fun of me for. But
Yep, see, you just did, yep. So even though you don't have ADHD like I do, sometimes we sound similar.
sometimes,
Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard, tears were streaming down my face, you
yes,
guys.
it was hilarious watching her crying out of the corner of my eye.
And I'm trying desperately to maintain the stitching on camera so the camera isn't just a view of my project with no movement like it has been, and tears just streaming down my face. Ugh. And they like to bring it up every so often because they know it riles me up. For those who were in the Discord yesterday when Yoberg mentioned the Paladin, it's kind of like that. They bring up this story because they know it gets a rise out of me every time. Ugh.
So, to be fair to Tori, now that I humiliated her, see, I can't speak either. The thing that I was referencing earlier that was kind of the non-chicken thing for me was I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. I came home all excited to tell the family about something that happened at school.
Well, you were young. You were a kid. That's nothing to be like embarrassed. I was a driving adult. I should have known better.
Anyway, a chiropractor visited the school, and I was all excited to tell the family about a chiropractor, only I didn't say chiropractor.
Now
There it is. She knows exactly what it is.
Now I know. I forgot about this.
Yes, so for years...
Dang. I forgot.
I couldn't say the word chiropractor, and I was so excited, and too excited to stop and slow down and figure out what what the word I was looking for was, or how to actually properly pronounce it. So I said, we got a chiropractor at the school.
A chiropractor.
A chiropractor at the school. And so for years, I was known as chiropractor because...
She's not wrong. We teased her kind of relentlessly about that.
And it really only went away until the non-chicken thing happened. Because even almost up to the non-chicken thing, the chiropractor was still being made fun of.
Yeah. No, I had genuinely forgot about it. I think most of us kind of have. But chiropractor stuck around for a while after the incident. And then to answer Wolves of the Night, I did know Alan was... I have an affiliate link to the DC20. Oh, by the way, I have an affiliate link to DC20. I guess I gotta put it in the description now. So I had gotten like a message from him because I was part of the program. So I got one of like the messages, and he introduces himself like, "Hey, I'm Alan." So and he's done that even on other things too. Like he's said his name before. But I did know that. I knew he had something. I didn't know if it was ADHD or maybe like, because the thing is I was diagnosed with ADHD, but not all of my symptoms are truly ADHD. Like they are, but at the same time, they're kind of not. I do have a handful of symptoms that actually lean more towards autism than ADHD. So I've tried to do a little bit of research into that, but until I actually go back in and get fully, talk to a professional, I won't really know for sure. But I sympathize with that concept. Basically, just enough to be visible, to be apparent, to be just at a perfect level where I can't ignore it and I can't pretend it doesn't exist. Because I've had people tell me that ADHD doesn't exist. It's just misbehaving kids. ADHD isn't real. And it's like, I had one of my coworkers say that. There was a point in time where me and Steve worked for the same company. 2 different times. So 2 different companies, but we both worked for the same company. And there was a lady there who said that, she didn't believe in ADHD. It doesn't exist. It's just parents need to discipline their kids. And then and Steve, who had been with me for a number of years at that point, basically kind of had to sit her down and say like, oh no, you don't even know. It's just ADHD in pop culture, ADHD on TikTok, ADHD in terms of like YouTube and such is sometimes, it's kind of like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And with so many people coming out with it's like all of a sudden everybody and their dog has ADHD. And I will admit
that or anxiety and depression.
I feel like it does get overdiagnosed. I'm not gonna lie. I do think it gets overdiagnosed. And also with the rise of YouTube and TikTok and whatnot, there's a lot of people that are self-diagnosed, which I also don't.
There's a lot of people that fake it too.
It's become a thing, and it's made it more difficult for people who genuinely struggle with it. Like, I can pretend all I want to. I went through phases where I went through phases in my life where I was genuinely convinced that I didn't have it. It was a made-up thing. Pardon my camera movement. Oh yeah, no, it was a thing. And, one moment. I thought it genuinely didn't exist. I thought I was crazy. And I tried to pretend it didn't exist, and then I found out the hard way that that's not an option. I can't pretend it doesn't exist. I can't pretend I don't have it, but at the same time, I'm not further along enough on the spectrum, if you will. Like, I'm not... It shows, but it doesn't show enough to highlight, if you will. It like, I continue going about my normal life like nothing is going on. I'm not sure the right way to phrase that. It's like I'm not special enough to be special, but it's enough to be noticeable. Oh, your youngest son has high-functioning autism. Oh, I just need to weaponize my... Well, here's the thing. Until I talk to a professional and until I go through all of the right steps, I hesitate to say that it is actually autism. I just know that some of the symptoms that I have... Most of the symptoms I have are very ADHD, and that's what I was diagnosed with. But some of the symptoms I have are less ADHD and more autistic in nature, which they actually share quite a few symptoms, so that's not strange or unusual. Gods, might I suggest 4chan for that? Beth, I think I'm gonna have to move my hoop.
Okay.
I don't want to move my hoop. I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna go back down here so I can avoid moving my hoop because I don't want to move my hoop.
I fortunately don't have that problem being at the very end of the project.
Yeah. Oh, wolves of the... That's just a very 1980s ADHD viewpoint. I hate it when people look down on me. Yeah. I've had People tell me I come from a fake, made-up continent and country. Well, normally that's the joke, but just like there are people who genuinely think the Earth is flat for some reason, there are people who genuinely think that Australia is like, did you know about that, Beth?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I have no words for the absurdity. I have no words for that absurdity. And what's some of the excuses they come up with? It's Argentina or something like that.
I don't know. It's people
so
be
dumb.
stupid.
See, gods, you thought the couch was dumb. You thought the dolphins were dumb. This approaches a whole new level.
I work in a pet store, and yeah, the things that I've heard and experienced are quite up there. I have a number of what I call the dumb blonde stories, because of some of the things people have said to me while I've worked in retail, not just in the pet store, but like in retail in general. And then on top of that, there's the things I've heard while working at a pet store. So, yeah, I've heard quite my share of stupid.
Yeah. Penguins, enough said. Yes. By the way, Beth, you don't know, but purple penguins is the running thing in the DC-20 community. You just say the word penguin to anyone in DC-20 and your chat will start flooding with penguins most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Aegeus did not know, but yes, there are people who think that Australia is fake. And they have all kinds of these weird little stories. Like, people go, okay, what about a kangaroo? And they have something stupid like, kangaroos aren't real, they're just XYZ animal. I forget the animal that he said, but it was some, it's just some animal with a costume put on it, or it's just a dude in a costume. And I'm like, wait, really? You're telling me an entire you genuinely believe an entire species of animal is dudes in suits? Like, wow. But anyway.
The sand was not naturally occurring. That's a new one. I have not heard that one.
Wait, what?
Agus said that he worked with a guy who swore the Earth was flat, though his was at least from a biblical standpoint, and that the sand was not naturally occurring. I have not heard that one.
The sand?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
The word "the" in front implies specific sand.
No, just like sand in general.
Wait.
The flying public loses their mind. I bet.
The flying public loses their mind. Oh my gosh.
Somebody said,
yeah.
Wolves the Night said, I work at an airport. The flying public loses their mind.
Yeah, no, as bad as your pet store stories are, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can't actually rephrase.
He claimed sand was a waste product from aliens.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay, that's a new one. I've not heard that one.
Anyways, so stitching and such. Oh, yes, and one more thing. Karen did send me another picture, and I need to pull it up. Ooh, this is a pretty... Look at this.
I can see half of it.
Well, I'm trying.
Lift the tablet up.
Oh.
There you go.
I couldn't. Sorry.
That's really cool.
She says. I like it. I think it's really pretty. This is what Needlebug sent me. Zoom out here a little bit. That is actually really pretty. I did do crochet.
I can't see any of it, is what Agus said.
Oh. Aegeus.
Sorry. I'm terrible at pronouncing things.
That's okay, so am I, but I had to ask, and I asked, and I said, is it Aegeus? And they said, yes, that works. And I said, okay, so now I'm vehement that it is Aegeus, because that's what they gave me permission to say.
I apologize for butchering the name.
I'm sure he'll forgive you. Because my chat are filled with the kindest, bestest people. Not a-holes who come into the stream and then yell at me in the first 2 to 5 minutes of the stream for talking too much. Even though most of the time when you start a stream like that, the streamer's usually going to play catch up with their chat. That's like normal. Streamers do that all the time.
Somebody called you Fofo?
I say Galaxy Fox.
They said you can call me Fox, and then someone called me Fofo. That's
Is that like a good thing though? Like, did you want to be called that, or was that like a bad thing? I'm trying to understand the context a little bit. The principal pronounced my last name as Reddick. Nice. Like Riddick. But, I mean, Riddick was
I
considered
will start yelling now. You're awesome, Tori. We love your streams.
Aw. Galaxy is just like a force of positivity and like, not just in a, I mean, like super happy and always encouraging people, but I mean, like genuinely encouraging people even when they're not, like encouraged me.
Oh!
Whoa, what? Red dick. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry, Aegeus.
Yeah, that's bad.
There was we were talking in Discord yesterday because I had my first DC 20 session with Galaxy Fox and a couple of others. Galaxy Fox, George, who was at the tail end of the Subnautica stream a bit ago, and Wargasm, George Wargasm, Galaxy, and Grumpy Old Slam. And I messed up, but that's okay. I'll fix it.
I've been messing up. I just kind of am fudging it as I go.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember, you do want completion. Stitch count is a big deal today, but not at the sacrifice of too much of a sacrifice of quality. Uh-oh.
It's not too bad. It's in the rough. Nobody's gonna know.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just the shading won't be exact.
When you're tucking in your tails, do you go eye first or point first? Like when you have the little
Point first?
the needle. Like when you have the little tails, because I remember there was a period of time where you were helping me tuck in my tails. I sidetracked the conversation, but we were talking in the Discord about players because I was kind of being a bit down on my table players because they're very, very, very passive and they're very, very like they're just not as creative / and I hate to use the word creative. It's not even lack of creativity, but just less energy, less gumption. Like they kind of wait for everything to happen to them a little bit, or at least more so than the DC 20 group. And I was kind of lamenting about that a little bit, saying like, you know, the players are important. Like having good players is a big deal. And Galaxy Fox jumped in with this whole paragraph about you know, this and that, and sometimes rails are, because I was talking about them, you know, going on railroady adventures, and it was just really encouraging. And it would kind of, I sat there when I saw that paragraph and I kind of thought about it and was like, huh, yeah, because, you know, she's uplifting everyone around her all the time. Like no matter the circumstances, she's finding the positive side of it and uplifting them, which I thought was really interesting and awesome. Gee, I wonder what movie he's listening to. Well, it looks like most of that isn't coming through on the mic, so I think we're good. Somebody's watching a loud movie in the other room, and it sounds like fighting and yelling and clashing and action music and... Oh, I bet you I know what he's watching. I bet you he's watching the rest of Lord of the Rings without me.
I have not seen those movies in so long.
That bastard. He knows, and I bet you he's out there watching them, even knowing that I'm, like, busy in here. That bastard. Okay, so I'm doing these two right here. I gotta track my stitches here. I did that one up top, so I'm gonna do this one over here. I am actually remembering to mark my stitches off as I go, which is impressive for me because I usually always forget that. Actually, I'll move this down so it's more center of camera. And turn it that way?
Stop doing that.
That way. The cat's not in here.
No, I'm trying to mark off my stitches and it's
registering my finger elsewhere, so it's like marking stitches that I'm not trying to mark.
Let's see. People that come on streams or watch video and just cut the creator down. Nasty, rude, unkind. Yeah. No, Needlebug, I have not yet had to... The whole time I've had my channel, I have not yet had one person that I've legitimately had to, like, ban or anything. I've never had... I've had some people that were critical or down on the DC-20 system when I released the DC-20 videos, but they weren't specifically targeting me. And even the worst of those negative comments were like, they were just people voicing their opinions. I didn't see any reason to get upset about it, or I mean, and it didn't mention me specifically. It was the system, and they are more than allowed to have their opinions. So in the interest of, you know, being objective and, you know, letting people, I'm not going to cut those comments down or anything like that. They get to have their opinion. Nothing wrong with that. But this morning, and those who were there can speak to this, this morning there was one person. So I started the stream and I was catching everybody up on the story because I had a feeling that we might have been ending the game today. Or at least we were very, very close to ending the game. So I started it with sort of a recap and some thoughts on the story, kind of a sort of review-esque style. Also, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning for me. I went to bed at about 9:30, got up at like 4:15. So I did not have as much sleep as maybe I normally would have. I had to already go out and deal with the dog, so I was a little disoriented, a little out of my normal routine. So I started off the Below Zero stream, the Below Zero Part 8 specifically. You can probably see it if you went back and watched. And I was doing a recap of like Sam's story and what we saw when we first landed here and stuff like that. And somebody, a name I didn't recognize, popped in the chat and they're like, bruh, play the game. Bruh, stop talking. And that's the voice that I read when I read their chat. Like, enough, like, play the game. And then later they typed in all caps, they were like, read your chat, not knowing that I had actually been reading it that entire time. I was just trying to get through my recap of the, you know, the story in the game that we were watching, not even like a side story. The actual story in the game. Anyways, after a couple of those messages, I finally went like, nope, I'm gonna have to do it. I don't tolerate like that just nonsensical yelling at the creator. Like, that's not okay. Trash can. He's emptying something on the trash can. We got a new espresso machine, by the way.
You did say that.
Yeah, so
you said that when we were in Missoula.
So that was probably him emptying the, you know, the
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There was banging, and Beth turned her head to the side, confused about the banging, but it sounded like something banging on the side of, like, the garbage can in the kitchen, so... Let's see. Oh, hey, a Nerds popped in here. Ooh, I missed that somewhere in the mix.
I think that happened a little bit ago.
I apologize for missing you. I was stitching. I was doing pretty good for a bit, actually, stitching in. I might have been the most critical of DC... Really, Gauze? Really? You? I wouldn't have pegged you for the most critical of DC-20. Oh yeah, and then Aegis. I don't get people that are like that. Well, that's like... There's a channel that you guys might be familiar with called We Love TTRPGs with Atten, which I just adore to tiny pieces. In fact, his safety tools video just blows mine out of the water in terms of valuable information. And just a great take, I think. And he was saying, because I joined his Discord, and he was saying that he has people who, like, scream and yell at him and call him a rage, to tell him that he's raging, and they like to poke at him, like, they call him, like, white-bearded something or other, or white-haired something or other. Like, people get straight up nasty to him, and I'm like, dang. It's
Oh, I've hit 97%, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. Because, yeah, this is going to be your first finish of all time.
So, ever since I basically hit 90%, anytime I hit a new percentage of completion on my project, I have to text Tori and let her know that I'm 1% closer to finishing.
97% on your first finish ever.
I have.
No, I mean like ever. Like you
Yes.
legit have no finishes.
Yes. I said that before.
I know, it's just, it doesn't feel real sometimes, and it's just super cool. Because you've been working on Dome for...
6 years.
Oh my gosh, you've been working on Dome, like, before I met Steve?
I think so. It was when I first started Petco.
Huh.
Yeah, I have 3,700 stitches roundabout left on this project.
Oh, look at that. Look at that encouragement that Galaxy is giving you. That's amazing. Of
Thank
which,
you, Galaxy.
to your offer, gosh, I remember what you're talking about now. Okay, I'm with you. I remember what you were talking about now. And to the offer, Wolves, I don't think I need a mod yet. Like, all I had to do was click 2 buttons, and the guy was gone. And the other guy who was saying the same thing very quickly went quiet. I didn't even have to ban him. He just kind of went quiet after a few moments. So it's not like, and if I start getting like more and more, or if like the channel starts getting bigger and stuff, then I might get to that point. And then I might start shopping around for the pool of you guys who have been here since the beginning, you know, if anybody wants to help. So I appreciate the offer for sure, though. I don't need it quite yet. I don't think I was able to just do it myself without too much interruption to the stream. In fact, ironically, he's getting what he wants, isn't he? Because I've talked
Galaxy, that pretty much sums up my life with the starting 200 projects and not finishing one of them.
Yes.
I have 13 cross-stitch projects alone, not to mention my other crafts, so I am terrible with that.
Yet in the world of cross-stitching, you're like 13. Less than 20 is like, you might as well be a monogamous stitcher if you have less than 20.
Well, yes,
There are people who have...
cross-stitching alone, but I'm saying, I was using that as an example because that's only the cross-stitch, and I still have a bunch of other unfinished craft projects and other crafts. That was more my point.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are awesome, and I love having you here. And I'm happy, you know, when I first saw the person and I first banned them, I was a little... I was nervous because, you know, again, I haven't had to deal with someone like that just yet. I mean, I knew that I needed to, but it was just one of those, like, kind of awkward moments.
Needlebug loved us.
Oh, okay. We'll catch you next time. Thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate it. But the best part is the fact that I can talk about it and tell you guys about it, and you're with me. That's the best part, is that, like, I'm not alone, and I'm not like, you know, you guys are with me and you've got my back, and that's the part that feels the best.
All right, Galaxy. I can send you a message when I have finished.
I'm convinced at this point that Galaxy's going to talk you into playing a TTRPG again, and if she is successful, I will buy her a drink. I've been wanting
Tori
to get
has been trying for years to get me back into gaming, and it has yet to happen.
I'm telling you, you couldn't have a more positive, more fun to play with, like... I mean, the group of people, one thing that Galaxy said when the session was over was like how surprising it was. It almost felt like we had been gaming together for years. It was one session and we were complete strangers, but we just got into this like groove, and it was almost like we had been an established group. It was really amazing. Oh, side note for Seraphis. Oh yeah, see, he just popped off, but I was going to tell him about how I figured out how to put the chat on the screen, and I was going to share that with him, because I know he was shopping around softwares. Yeah, in fact, Miss Elizabeth, we have been live for an hour and 51 minutes.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Are you good? Did you get your fill of being not famous on Tori's very, very small channel? That's a little bit of a joke. I mean, you know, I am a very small channel. I mean, he's watching Lord of the Rings in there, I'm pretty sure. So, if that's anything to go by, then we have hours. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, yep, it's gotta be there. Okay, I was one off. So, over, so wait, no, I gotta go one more over. So 1, 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna park it here, because I do not trust that my counting is accurate. On that at all. Oh. Whew. Okay. Oh, I can almost see it easier on camera than you can on real life. I should just look at the camera when I want to do my counting. I mean, we'll see.
Exciting.
We'll see what happens, Galaxy. Like, I like how we both go quiet as we both go to read the chat for a bit. Oh, Cyberpunk. Oh, what kind of bed did you get, Aegeus? We have a purple. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna park that thread for now.
I have a basic boring bed.
You have... It's not... Well, I don't know if basic boring is the right description. Let's see. 70, 59... 59... 500... Where's... Okay, there it is. 597. Okay.
And I did it again.
The kind you sleep in? Specific. Very specific. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna go for a little bit longer, but I haven't had breakfast yet, so I've been up since 4:15. It's now... Is it really 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock. I have not eaten any food. I'm feeling a little bit woozy. A little bit like I need the foods. Oh, a memory foam bed. Well, that's awesome. Kind of jealous. A good bed can be like hard to find. Eats. Aegeus just says in all caps, eat. Yeah, so we're gonna keep just a little bit longer here, but odds are
Cooking stream.
He doesn't even know, but I actually thought about posting cooking videos.
Why does that not surprise me?
It doesn't surprise you because you know me. I do. There's a bad joke in there about the fact that nobody told me hydration check, but I don't want y'all to start giving me hydration checks randomly. It's a thing from the coach streams, the dungeon coach, the DC20 guy, Beth, that in his streams, people will go, hydration check, and he'll go, oh, thanks, and he'll grab water and he'll drink water. Well, actually, being says it's already 10 o'clock, I'm probably just gonna fire up the wood pellet, and I'm probably just gonna start the burger and hot dogs now, because we're already into, like, borderline lunch territory. I mean, I've been up for however many hours.
Shouted food check.
Food check. Oh, no. And then it begins. And then
That's
it begins.
A lot of food emojis.
Galaxy Fox on point with those emojis. I'm telling you. Meal check.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that I haven't eaten yet. I wasn't thinking, because I knew that this would be the response.
That's on you, dude.
It is on me. I take ownership of my actions in that regard. By the way, so here's some...
Sleep? What sleep? I'm trying to finish a cross stitch.
Oh, yeah, no, Elizabeth's gonna be going ham today, because how many stitches do you gotta do today?
About 1,300.
And on average, what kind of hours are we looking at to get 1,300 stitches done?
13.
Without the fact that we're on stream and being distracted and having to frog and...
Hey, I've already done 226 stitches. I'm doing pretty good.
You've already done how many?
226.
I've done 71. In my defense, I've been up and about and coming up to the other side of the desk, and I've had huge chunks of time not stitching. In my defense.
Yes, Galaxy, that's the goal, is 1,300 stitches to... I'd have to do 1,300 stitches a day to finish this by the end of Monday.
Because it's the day she started.
Because it's the day I started 6 years ago.
So I've known Steve for longer than 6 years. There's no way.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know I started it in 2018.
Either that, or you started when?
2018, August 2018.
Oh yeah, no, I knew Steve long before. Because I left the other house in either 2014 or 2015.
I don't know.
And I knew Steve before I left the other house. So
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you. I've known Steve longer than you've been starting that. And I just say that because it's like a metric for me. Like that gives me an idea on the timeline. You know what I mean? I'm not so good with years, but I'm good with like events. Yeah. Sleep, what's that? Yeah. That's the
point I'm at.
That's where she's at.
I got, I think, about 5 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, I didn't do much better because I can't. 6 probably. Well, I wiped the laptop and put a new operating system on it, so now I'm having to troubleshoot or finagle various, because I'm using it as a test to see. Part of the reason why I haven't switched operating systems before now, even though I've really badly wanted to, is because of just straight, like, being as I stream video games, having a Linux machine would not be a wise idea, because I'd just be signing myself up for a world of hurt. Because Windows, Steam and games run on Windows. / Mac, but having a Linux machine is kind of a no-go when it comes to if you're doing a lot of gaming, which is the main reason why I still have Windows, even though I would have dropped it years ago if I could. Yeah, I refer to him as Steve because even though we've been together and we live together and we're all but married, we're not technically legally married, so I feel awkward calling him my husband, but at the same time, the word husband is a lot easier to say than, like, man that I live with that I'm not quite married to. You know, it gives people the idea of the status of the relationship in one word and very concisely, but I also, like, we're not technically married. It's weird. So oftentimes, just as a default, I just end up referring to him as Steve.
Well, I mean, it is his name. I think it's appropriate to
call him by his name. Well, because a lot of people will say my wife or my husband or whatever. 10 BS before Steve and 5 AS after Steve. Yes. Who is Galaxy? Oh, that's awesome. Steve the pirate. Want to use that metric. Can't game on a Mac. Okay, confirmed. Wolves confirmed it. You can't game on a Mac. So hopefully you understand what I'm getting at there, Wolves, of, like, truthfully, I would have had Linux years ago, but because of the nature of what I actually spend most of my time doing on my machine, which is gaming, and now editing, but OBS will run on Linux. DaVinci Resolve will run on Linux. There's a couple of other things that I checked. Most of it will all run on Linux. So I converted the laptop to see if I could, run some tests, programs through it and see what I could. Because I'm probably going to end up dual booting the tower in that case and doing everything else on the Linux half. Oh, partner. Yeah, okay, yeah, I could do that. My partner. I could say that. My partner. We went
looking for scissors in a place that scissors don't exist.
No, don't do that. We went ring shopping at one point. We found one that I adored to tiny pieces, and he totally wanted to get it, except for the fact that it was $4,000.
Rings be expensive.
Jiminy Christmas. Like, That's so expensive that if he spent that much money on a ring, I'd be pissed. Like, dude, that's twice the cost of the fence that I want. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather buy the fence. By the way, fences are expensive.
I also knew this.
Well, the lady next door likes to let her dog run all over our yard willy-nilly.
Oh.
Like, her dog will come up and sniff our barbecue and, like, pat around in the gravel right next to the house. Like, she has no shame. No leash, no nothing, no nothing. Just, like, oh, this is your yard? Guess it's my yard now. And it kind of drives me nuts, but Steve doesn't care, so technically the outside yard is his domain. So if he doesn't get upset about it, it's kind of like not a whole lot I can do about it. I mean, I could march over there and say something, but then I'd just be making everybody unhappy. Be starting a fight. I don't really want to start a fight. I just think it's rude. I think it's rude behavior is what it is. Like, you know, when you live right next to someone like that, the least you could do is be polite enough to recognize other people's property. Like, when I take Mercury out on walks, I don't let her go roaming around in other people's yard.
Somebody asked what kind of dog.
Big black lab looking thing. It's like half the size of our dual grill. It's huge. And she's had it since it was a wee puppy. And other than that, I mean, she seems totally nice. Like, absolute, very, very nice. I have no issues or qualms. I even wave at her and the puppy when the puppy's out. Like, I don't want, and that's part of the reason why I haven't really said anything, is because it's kind of like, does it upset me? Yes. Is it rude? Actually, yes. Yes, it is. Is it worth starting like a whole big deal over? Well, not really. It's really not. But I do want to get a fence. Because, like, dude, this is my property. I pay for this.
The only thing that comes to my brain is the weirdest dog breed I've ever seen.
What's the weirdest dog breed you've ever seen, sister of mine who works in a pet store?
A lab mixed with a pug.
What?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What?
There was a dog that came in and it was a lab mixed with a pug.
You know, the latest episode of Exploding Kittens had vampires, and they were vampugs. And they were vampire pugs, and they landed on people and, like, sucked the life out of them, and it was hilarious. Skipped proposal and got wife immediately. Oh, I missed something. Let's see, what kind of dog?
No, that, like, literally just was a thing.
Oh, God's is saying you do business with a partner. You don't necessarily live with or sleep with them. Do a search for Every OS Sucks by Three Dead Trolls. Never understood the term partner.
I've seen pictures of a husky corgi. I've not seen one in real life, but...
I mean, a husky corgi, I feel like might make some sense because
it's basically a corgi with husky coloring and fur.
Yeah, I was gonna say... Oh yeah, he's listening to Lord of the Rings. I heard the music sting that time. I knew it. We should go out there and interrupt his movie. And start our own movie. We should go kick him out of the living room.
I don't see why.
Because he knows that I really want to watch those movies with him.
Okay, well, I don't want to get dragged in the middle of it.
That's fair.
That's between you and him.
That's fair.
You can settle that after I leave.
I'm just sad. Because, like, we schedule... It's not like I was going to cancel this just because he was watching some movie. But he's going to, like... I want to sit down and be like, okay, I want to watch Lord of the Rings. And then he's going to be like, meh, I just watched them. And then I missed out on a Lord of the Rings fest.
I need to have my own Lord of the Rings fest. It's been years since I have.
That's why I was so excited. I was like, we're doing Lord of the Rings, but no, we're not doing Lord of the Rings. Can you tell that I'm bitter?
Okay, yes. Let it go.
Let it go.
Don't even start.
I deserve that. Hey, it's a good song. Oh, Edina is not going to be in the new Wicked, is she?
No.
Okay, not watching. 0 out of 10 stars.
It was, I don't remember who it was now.
How?
I just looked at that.
How in God's green earth do you have a Wicked production without Adina in it? I mean,
technically,
just,
I've seen 2 of them.
you poor thing.
Well, no, because Wicked was in Spokane, but it wasn't Idina. It was.
But I mean, how can you hear Defying Gravity without it being her? That just
Because she wasn't available to do a small production in Spokane, Washington every other time she turns around.
I mean, I get.
Welcome to reality here.
I just. It's Adina. It's Defying.
I understand
it's like her
that.
thing.
I understand, but she also can't be in every production that ever exists.
Are we talking about like trading goats and such? Oh dear. I don't think that's gonna work. My father is not available for negotiation.
Yeah. That's okay. Our grandmother keeps popping into the store to see me now that she knows I work there.
Oh, I just realized what you said. Oh, she's come back?
Multiple times.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So.
I'm so sorry.
That's my life now.
Oh, yep, there. See, Galaxy's singing it. She's singing it. I read the words in tune, Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Which is funny, because I think I'm the one that introduced you to that movie.
No, I went down and watched it by myself. I went up to the 3rd bedroom in the old house, and put it on my tablet and just legit sat. Actually, I didn't have a tablet. I had like my MacBook.
Oh no, I tried to introduce it to you. You refused because of the popularity of the movie.
I refused, and then there was a morning where I was lonely and mad and upset, and I was like, I want to watch a movie, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this cartoon movie on, and it was a good movie.
I tried to introduce you.
I liked it. It was a good movie. You know the other movie that I like that apparently I'm not supposed to like, but I like it anyways? I like a lot of movies I'm supposed to not like.
For clarification, our grandmother, my dad's mother, who basically we have no connection to, and
They're total
haven't
strangers
really
to us.
met. We went there once for like an Easter when I was like, I don't know, 5, if that, like
If that.
super young.
Oh yeah, no, because I was
like,
younger.
I barely remember that.
Yeah.
And we have literally not had any communication with this lady since then. So like pretty much her entire life, she has not been a part of it. And she loves birds apparently. So my dad.
Yes, Galaxy.
So my dad let her know that I work at this pet store, and so she came in and bought 2 parakeets, and then specifically had me paged to the front, not realizing I was the one that helped her sell the parakeets. And then randomly came up and hugged me,
Which
in all excitement, and just hugged me. And this lady is very short, by the way.
For additional context, in Beth's speak, you do not touch. Beth is no touchy, so she had basically the equivalent of a complete stranger, like, hug her. Like,
Yes.
Imagine how that feels. Like, imagine you're at work and some literally random person you do not know, is not supposed to know, like a customer, like, straight up bodily, like, hugs you.
Yes, I am definitely not much of a touchy, huggy person. And then as she's hugging me, and she's like half my height, basically, because she's very short.
Wow.
She's very short. Not half my height, that's a little bit of an
I was
exaggeration.
gonna say.
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but she is very short. Anyway, and then as she's hugging me, she goes, I'm your grandmother. And granted, I didn't have the best of experiences with catching her parakeets, because she was unfortunately one of those annoying customers that had to stand right behind me, instructing me on how to catch the parakeet instead of letting me do my job.
Backseat driving, parakeet catching.
Backseat fishing, yes. It's a very big pet peeve. So I wasn't exactly, and her husband was loudly coughing up phlegm as I was standing there. So it was not the best
gross.
Yeah, it was not the best of experiences. And then to be called up to the front, see her, and then have her come up and hug me out of nowhere, it was very disconcerting and awkward, and I wanted to run away. And then as she's hugging me, she goes, "I'm your grandmother." And Dad had told me that she likes to come into the store and has come into the store before. I just didn't know who she was. So yeah, that's how I was reintroduced to my grandmother on my dad's side. And since then, she has come back a few times and seeked me out many times, including on Wednesday, I think was when she came in last. Yeah, it was pretty sure it was Wednesday. Anyway, point being is that it's kind of my life. She also was, the first time she came in, she was very loudly announcing family events and things in front of the entire front as she was at the cash register and like kind of talking to the cashier coworker about family things that I don't really need broadcasted to all of my work life.
Oh, so I shouldn't say anything here then?
I mean, you can.
Because these people were broadcasting, but it's just not to your work life?
I don't know. Like, I didn't exactly... It's not like I hide that aspect of our life from... And some of my coworkers know, like Jim and Alyssa knows, and Krista knows, but, like...
Yeah.
It's not something I just go around and, like,
Those,
loudly
like,
announce.
regularly,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't really care.
You're not trying to
people
keep
know,
it secret, but it's not like you're yelling it from
yeah, exactly.
a tall
So
mountain.
then her and I especially like I was awkward and thrown off balance because of the hug and the random announcement that she's my grandmother and I have no idea who this lady is, and then her to go into loudly explaining personal life things. That's like, okay.
Yeah, not cool, man.
So
and I mean,
it was just awkward.
I feel sorry for, like, I kind of feel pity for both parties involved. Because on the one hand, I see your point of view. Like, she's a total stranger to us. We don't know who she is. We have no connection to them. So this assumption of togetherness, like, oh, we're blood relatives, that must make us close family.
Oh yeah, she gave me her number. She was telling me her address. You need to come visit.
Yeah, like on the one hand, I think that she comes from a generation. Well, and this may be assumptive on my part, but I think she comes from a generation where family is family, regardless of how there are no personal feelings about it. If they're your family, they're your family. Done deal. And some people that I've met that like kind of from that mindset don't understand that, like, no, you cannot like family members. It's okay.
Well, there's that, but Dad also says that she's just she's lonely and is just a very huggy person.
Well, and that was the other side of it, is I kind of also feel a little bit of sympathy for her too, though, or like pity for her, because she has these estranged granddaughters that she knows exist, but doesn't know anything about. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, she's lonely and she's older and she wants to reconnect and so I feel a little bit of sympathy for her as well. It's just that was not necessarily the way to go about it.
And I do, and so I'm nice and, I try and be polite to her. Especially because, like, a part of me has always wanted to know that side of the family, because I'm interested in family history. And I really don't know, like, anything about that side of the family.
Yeah, no, we don't.
So it's like, on one hand, I want to, like, kind of not get to know her, but kind of, like, sort of at least be, personable. Plus, it's my workplace, so, like, she's kind of also a customer, so I can't just be...
Yeah, you gotta be professional.
So, but at the same time, like, I know nothing about this lady. So it's just, it's...
Family's family.
It's an interesting situation, to say the least.
Imagine telling people you were pounced at the pet store.
Well, and then she came in when before I got there on my next shift and loudly told the entire story to everybody that wasn't there to initially witness it. So,
Okay.
and it confused Jim quite. It confused Jim a lot because he knows our grandmother on my mother's side, and to have this random lady come up and go, "I'm Beth's grandmother," it just, like, he
would have been thrown for a loop.
He was very thrown for a loop.
Yeah. Alrighty, yeah. No, it's probably getting very, very late for Galaxy over there. Is it? Oh no, wait. Do I have my timelines confused? Somebody said somebody said good night. Galaxy, Fox, Night Sky. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought they were saying good night, but it's part of her name. Man, I got a little lost there, so... See, I'm having so much fun that I don't really want the stream to end, but at the same time, we've been going for 2 bloody hours, and almost 2.5 hours, and it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it's time to turn the cameras off. But hey, tested concept. Like, proof of concept, we did it. The cameras worked, the chat on screen worked, although the chat on screen is super, super, super tiny, so going forward, I may, let's see. I'm not sure the best way to fix that. I'll work on it. I'll work on it. But it's less about, like, reading it. Most of you who are in the chat are actually reading the chat because it's easier to read. The on-screen chat is mostly just to show the activity and kind of add to the sense of, I don't feel like on-screen chats are meant to be read, because I've very few streams have on-screen chats that are actually readable, at least for me. I always can't read them, so, but I have it on there for like a sense of like, oh yeah, there's activity, there's people talking and stuff, to kind of show it a little bit. But I want to fix it a little bit. There's got to be a way to make it better. But anyways, I am rabbit trailing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm allowed to rabbit trail. Let's see. Oh, it's 6 p.m., so on-screen chat Penguin Army. That is true. If a sudden influx of penguin emojis were to appear, it would show up on the on-screen.
And of course somebody does it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Galaxy, 100%. Yep, she would be, and she would be first. That how Galaxy do. I can do a black over in here too as well. Let's see. I don't really want to drag threads across this gap. I don't think that would be a very good idea. The next black stitch that I need to do is this one over here, but I don't want to drag a thread across that, so I think I'm going to end that thread instead. I mean, there is another one that needs to be done over in here somewhere, but I don't want to count out like 17 stitches over 2. That's too advanced for me. I'm lazy. I'd rather just end the thread. I don't want to count to 17 over 2. What are you, nuts? Aw, you guys are too kind. I don't deserve you. I truly do not deserve you. But it's because the DC20 community is so amazing that my community turned into amazing. Because you guys just plussed. You plusted my community with your amazingness. Because DC20 community is genuinely positive and amazing. It's not like the D&D community where people are hurling insults at each other and ranting about WotC or not, or defending or not, or, yeah. No, the DC20 community is like legit filled with positive, good people. Aw, Aegeus. They keep, certainly, if they wanted to come join the Discord, they are welcome, but, I put it in the videos so that people who, participate in the streams and the videos can get to the Discord. And the next video that I do will be more DC20 related. We did an offshoot with the Notion stuff in particular, but the next thing that we do will be, will definitely be specifically more DC20 related, and or recaps and animated covers of the other D&D DC20 group. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and let it ride. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go here, guys. It's been, part of me doesn't want to because we're having so much fun, but the other part of me needs like food and a break. Oh, I see what you did there, Aegis. Tori has it. Well, and we saw a couple of new members. We had a good long chat yesterday. I popped in and I was like, hey, it's quiet in here. How y'all doing? And oh my goodness, did the conversation take off, and it was phenomenal. Star Wars, DC20, people losing their paladins, everything under the sun, Monster Hunter. I mean, it just went all over the place, and it was amazing. So, but I am gonna let it go here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep talking. You got chats keep popping up. I'm trying to end it. And chats. My sister's giving me a look. It's like this every time, Beth. If you go watch any of my previous streams, it's like this every time. I'd say, I'm gonna go, guys, and then a chat pops up. For real. Nope, for real.
Bye.